Hi, my name is Sally, and for my thesis, I was required to build a service-oriented architecture designed for scale with the use of independent microservices to answer a business question that I posed. The business question I posed was with regard to Airbnb and its do listings with a photo accuracy feature get more bookings than listings without this feature. The most notable challenge I've faced thus far is when I had to design the architecture early on. And it was difficult because I had to assess the trade-off between data availability with regards to time-sensitive user requests and data consistency across all of my systems and services, or across all my services in my system. My original design, which I'll pull up in front right now, involved a client app and an inventory app, or client app and an inventory service with a queue service in between. And when a user made a booking request, it would be received by the client app and it would post a message to the queue service, which the inventory would grab and basically check to see if that listing is available to be booked. It would then update the database and then send a message back to the queue service, and the queue service would then be grabbed by the client app and then respond to the user. We decided to use a queue service, originally speaking, between client app and inventory because it served as a fail-safe for when our system was overloaded with high traffic and maybe some of our systems went down. In that case, we would still have some sort of way of persisting the user request, but the disadvantage to this, and additionally, the advantage to this as well, is that the user will always receive accurate data. And what I mean by that is when the user searches for listings, it will always receive only available listings in its search results, and the user will also receive an accurate booking request. However, all of these advantages are far outweighed because the disadvantage is that the client or the user doesn't get an immediate response, and that's because I'm using a queue service. The user needs to get a response right away after you click book. It's the same thing as making a purchase. You cannot let a user wait when they are making a purchase. They have to know right away whether or not the purchase went through. And so what we ended up doing was redesigning our architecture to look more like this, where we still have a client service and we still have an inventory service, but now we have a booking service in between. The difference as well also between the client service and the booking service, there is no more queue. This allows us to have a synchronous operation between the client service and the booking service, and therefore a immediate response back to the client because we're no longer using a queue service, we're using an HTTP request instead. Basically, we had to rethink our system design and decipher which services required accurate and available data, such as bookings, and which could be eventually consistent later, the inventory and the client app. As you'll see in this app, that the disadvantage to this is that the client app no longer updates with every client booking request, and the user may search expired listings that are no longer available. That is something that many companies still do. Amazon, for instance, will send you an email if they let you buy something and it was actually no longer available. Luckily, we won't let you ever book a listing if it's not available, but you can search listings if they're not available because, like I said, we had to trade off between data availability and data consistency across all of our services. Thank you, and hope that was useful.